What y'all tell us back with another edition of Wrestling Dumpster Fires. Tuesday I'll do the 10 worst Money in the Bank winners ever, but I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I said what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say. I was not gonna review the show, and I kept this word, sort of. But when I do the dumpster fires, this is understanding why I'm not reviewing. I will talk about the matches on this show, but yes, you could read it's Heroes of Wrestling on the Wrestling Dumpster Fires. Again, my June schedule for Thursdays, I got TNA Slammiversary 2006. Then I got WCW Great American Match 2000. I know James from Winger Pro Wrestling and Brian Sanders for Wrestling with Regret. We'll talk about these also. I want to talk about it also, so deal with it. Plus, I was going to do this anyways this month, so King of Reign, WF King of Reign 2000 also around the same time period, and ECW's Heat Wave 98. Yeah, I know it took place in a different month, but fuck it, I don't care what month it was taking place. If I'm going to talk about it, I'll talk about it. So my last dumpster fire was $1,000,000 Mania, and on the conversation I made, it's no more Vince shit on these dumpster fires, because I am done talking about Vince McMahon on these dumpster fires, okay? But some of his greedy little paws had to be somewhere in these fucking dumpster fires I talk about when it comes to WWE stuff. So, I'll talk about the event itself. This was in 1999, October 10th, Casino Magic in Bay St. Louis, not Missouri, Mississippi. So yeah, before I talk about this, now wrestling around this time period was still good around this time, although WCW was falling off a cliff, and the WF was booming once again. ECW went on national television around this time, which the less I say about that, the better. I mean, Bubba Ray Dudley said best on that biography about it, national television killed ECW. Which some point in July I will talk about their first period under their national television deal, Anarchy Rules 1999. I know. Took place in a different month. I don't care, okay? I want to talk about that shit somehow, some way. But in July, I will talk about some SummerSlams. But anyways, so although the event was heavily produced, it was purchased by 29,000 households attended the event itself, considering to be of extremely poor quality. Wrestling Observer rated it as the worst major wrestling event. Yeah. We'll also have some back cards. Starcade 99, King of Reign 99, Bash at the Beach 1999. But this was the worst of them. And you can probably understand why. And there was another, like, there were names that were reach out but didn't come in. Like, none of the other, like, they were already in the other promotions, like Hogan, Flair, Funk, yada yada yada. They were in other promotions, really. Hogan, Flair were in WCW. Funk was off and off in East Day before he came back to WCW in early 2000. What else? What else? Piper was still in WCW until his last appearance was Super Bowl 2000, which you can see that on my secondary channel, so there's that. But names were reached out but didn't come in. Sid Vicious, for some reason, decided not to do it because around the time he was in World Championship Wrestling. And it was around this month, he was in a program with Goldberg over Destroy Cars. I'm just kidding. It was, about, Sid having the best streak than Goldberg's. Vader had a no job in America clause in his All Japan contract, which those two really dodged a bullet there. So good on them. RIP to both Vader and Sid. Which, they were in the main event of my last pay-per-view, Internal Ascending. And Honky Tonk Man just says no on that. So yeah, another bullet dodged by him. There's minor changes to the commentary. So Gordon Sully was going to be a part of it alongside Ted DiBiase, but however, Gordon Sully was dealing with some throat cancer and would pass away in July of 2000. And DiBiase was replaced at the last minute by Dutch Mantel, and Gordon Sully's replacement was... You probably heard about this. A lot of YouTubers said this guy's name. Randy Rosenblum. Who the fuck is he? He did sports, college sports stuff. And he had no business in the wrestling world. I mean, listen to what he said during all this. He botched a simple drop kick. He called it a flying kick, a flying leg kick, and even a fucking leg drop. What? Yeah. Oh my god. So, there's another infamous part about this show, but we'll get to that. But again, these matches are not going to get graded because it's not a review. It's a dumpster fire. Just. So, before we get to the last thing about this, the last thing about this whole show, I'm gonna get into the matches. Again, no grades, because this is not a review. It's a dumpster fires about this. So the Samoan SWAT team of Samu and the Samoan Savage defeats Marty Jannetty and Tommy Rogers. This is where, Randy Rosenblum fucked up the names. He called it arm drag, a reverse slam takedown. And Dutch said it's called arm drag. Then Greg Valentine defeats George Steele. Yeah, this was a shit match. Too Cold Scorpio, by the way, was carrying a replica WCW Championship. You know what I understand is, who was the WCW Championship around this time period, month of October 99? Yeah, a heel Sting before Halloween Havoc. Defeats Julio Fantastico. He was around ECW during their dying days. I mean, fine match, but it was around the time where they announced Captain Lou Abel as the commissioner, which the show did not continue on after that. So much for your commissioner role. Then at one of the more controversial, more infamous matches on this show. It's, well, they can't call them the Bushwhackers. I also forgot to mention, they can't call Luke and Bush the Bushwhackers. They have to call them the Men from Down Under because of copyright issues, like in the main event where King Kong Bunny was supposed to face the man formerly known as Yokozuna. It was barely legal enough to not get sued. Defeats Irish and Nikolai Volkov. Yeah. One of the worst I ever seen. Might be worse than Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns from WrestleMania 34. Or any match from fucking New Blood Rising. Don't get me started on that show. We'll mention it by August. Or maybe I'll probably get that done over in July. Yeah, I'll get that over in July. But you'll see some SummerSlams also, so... What are they? No spoilers. Anyways, where was I? Yeah. Dan Tony Blanchard, who, by the way, who cut a pretty good promo before this match with Stan Lane. It was whatever. Then we get a dual Butcher and one man getting in a duel the Butcher and one man getting in a double count out. It was a bloodbath. It was hideous to watch. There's that. Jimmy Snuka defeats Bob Orton. Yeah, they were over the hill at this point. No disrespect to either of them. And then... I don't want to talk about this part before the main event, but I have to do it. The infamous Jake Roberts promo. Yeah, Jake around the time was so... Yeah, he had a relapse before this show, and that promo. You don't want to play cards with me because I'll cheat. Okay? I'll cheat. You want to play 21? I got 22. You want to play blackjack? I got 2 of those too. You want to play ace and ace? Well, I got 2 of those too. That promo was very uncomfortable to look at. I mean, some promos are funny as hell, like Sid's half the man, half brain promo, like around this time, or Kevin Natchez, look at the action, play. This was uncomfortable, it's not in the funniest way ever. Then, he was supposed to have a match with Jim Neidhart. Roberts, get the snake into the ring, he ran up the entrance aisle, which just looks so fucking generic. I mean, this whole event looks fucking generic. Then he ran back out without the shirt. Then he grabs a woman and starts rubbing his hands with her hands, and then grabs the snake during this. Starts to, well, you know. Then Bunny and Yokozuna come out, and yeah, one of the worst main events ever. Illegal Man Bunny pins Illegal Man Jake to get the W. In the words of Krusty the Clown, what the hell was that? So yeah, this was the one and only show. And thank God. You know, as bad as other periods were, there were some redeemable qualities of it. Like, Great American Bash 04 was bad, but that had Eddie Guerrero JBL. What else was so fucking terrible? Uncensored 95 had Sting and Big Bullet, but not that great. But on a card that has a strap match featuring the rip-off Ultimate Warrior and the fucking King of Road match, yeah. What else was so fucking bad? December to December 2006 had Hardy's and Eminem. Fall Brawl 99 the same year had Goldberg Diamond Dallas Page. Oh my god, what else is so fucking... What's the fucking wrestling shits? Uh... WrestleMania 11 had Diesel, Shawn Michaels, yada yada yada. I think the next Dumpsterfires is going to be Mick Foley's TNA run next, so if you want to see this, beware, because it's brutal to watch. So Thursday on my second show, subscribe to the notification bell on that one. You will see TNA Slammiversary 2006. And then Tuesday on here, you will see the 10 worst Money in the Bank winners of all time. I know I'm not doing a Money in the Bank retrospective review this year because Money in the Bank, honestly, it's just a... What's the fucking point of Money in the Bank now? Or is. Also, Triple H himself doesn't like Money in the Bank either. So, there's that. The content needs to fucking retire. I'm sorry. It ran its course. But there. And then episode 80, Wednesday, episode 80 of Showdown, going into Deception. So, there's that. Like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel, your notification bell, as well as my second channel, Tyler's Retro Reviews, and there. Bye-bye, and this show, go fuck itself.